This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood, and we had a great weekend of racing down at Calder. They had a big day, Florida Millions Day, on Saturday, and we'll begin the program taking a look at the John Franks Juvenile Fillies Turf, 2-year-olds on grass in South Florida.
They're all in line. And they're off. And a good start for Check It Off from the inside gate. Winsaki is showing speed. Drews Honoree is right there on the pace as well. Wild Meal just behind them, fourth, and Simply Impressive fifth in the early stages, but already about 7 or 8 lengths back as they're stringing out with 1 lap to go. Delucci Girl is already about 9 lengths from the front. Then Tilly the Tigress, Dance for Zach. Dancing Rage has 1 beaten early on, and that is Suzanne. Suzanne's going to have to make up about 15 lengths, and the opening quarter was quick, 22-1 as they wheel around the clubhouse turn. Winsaki and Julian Leperoux on the engine, but company from Drews Honoree, who won't let Winsaki out of her sights early on. These two are about 3 clear of Check It Off. Simply Impressive now moving up on the extreme outside. Wild Mia between runners, 5th, and Tilly the Tigress, Delucci Girl, and it looks like the front runners have slowed it down a bit because the entire field taking much closer order now. In fact, that second quarter up in 25-1, which means a 47-2 half for Winsaki. Winsaki, Drews Honoree pressuring now from between runners. Simply Impressive, close enough if good enough, third. Then Wild Mia, Check It Off is down along the hedge. They're followed by Delucci Girl. Dancing Rage is on the move. Dancing Rage in the teal colors, weaving her way through. She's still got 5 lengths to make up on Winsaki, who had that second quarter breather. Winsaki here, Simply Impressive. Wild Mia joins the fray 3 wide. Delucci Girl, Suzanne from the back of the pack is closing on the outside. It's Winsaki just the leader. Wild Mia trying to push on by. Wild Mia, Winsaki with a furlong to run. Winsaki, Wild Mia now sticks her head out in front. Dancing Rage closing on the far outside. It's Wild Mia and Antonio Gallardo, 25-1, and they win the John Franks Juvenile Fillies Turf.
Wild Mia scores the victory in a bit of an upset to start the stakes program with a $59 mutual on top, as the winner from just off the pace with a 4-wide bid over long shot Dancing Rage, with the favorite at a tick over even money, Winsaki, showing good speed and rounding out the top 3. The winner, Wild Mia, was a maiden going in, comes out a stakes winner. She was beaten only in nose in a maiden special, going 5 last time out, stretches out and handles the distance very nicely as she scores her maiden win. Wild Mia is a Greyer Roan daughter of Wildcat Air from Love Mia by El Sultan. Bred in Florida by Montgomery Farm and owned by Craig Wheeler. Trained by Pete Anderson and ridden to victory by Antonio Gallardo. Wild Mia covers the mile in a 16th on the turf course labeled firm in 142.53. Next up, 2-year-olds in the Jack Price Juvenile.
They're all in line. And they're off. And a perfect start. Mr. Green showing speed, good to be seen as flashing zip from the outside, and here's What a Prince through from the inside. These 3 vying for the early lead. They're right across the track, and Hear Ye is just in behind them and trying to slip through an opening at the inside. They're followed by Peace at Dawn, who runs 5th right now, but only 3 lengths from the front. Jay Zoo has 5.5 to make up. Then Manny Who and Lucas Brady takes a seat at the back of the pack. He'll have to make up about 9 lengths on the leaders, and the leaders right now are Good to Be Seen and What a Prince. It's Good to Be Seen now clearing off by over a length. Manny Who is coming back to the outside of What a Prince. They're now a joint second as they run for the far turn. Hear Ye was shuffled back in 4th. He's now gearing out the rail, and Hear Ye is advancing once again. He's now forced 3 wide, but he's within 2 lengths of the lead, and they're bunching up behind Good to Be Seen and Jockey Abarcoa. Good to Be Seen, just a narrow lead. Hear Ye closing up on the outside, and Manny Who is still right there in between those two. What a Prince Prince is the one who's got to do better. He's dropped back. They're followed by Peace at Dawn. And Hear Ye comes calling for the lead. Hear Ye in front. Manny Hutra, rather, between runners. Mr. Green trying to run with him. Good to be seen fighting back along the inside. It's Hear Ye from Good to be seen, less than a 16th out. Hear Ye, and Jeffrey Sanchez on their way to a win in the Jack Price Juvenile. Good to be seen second best, Mr. Green and Peace at Dawn.
Hear Ye, and Jeffrey Sanchez getting the victory. Another upset price here at 20-1. He scores over the pacemaker, Good to be seen, and the odds-on choice, Mr. Green. The winner, Hear Ye, last time out was fourth in the Bird on the Wire behind several of the runners in this race, including Lucas Brady, Mr. Green, and Peace at Dawn. He was obviously overlooked in the betting here, allowed to go off at a pretty nice price, and he scores by just under 2 lengths. Hear Ye is a Grayer Rowan son of Hear No Evil from I Am Nifty by Unbridled Song. Bred in Florida by Jack's or Better Farm and owned by the breeder, trained by Stanley Gold and ridden to victory by Jeffrey Sanchez. Hear Ye covers the 7 and 125.39. Next up, we will head into fillies competition and the Joe O'Farrell Juvenile Fillies.
And they're off, and Sweet Like Sugar broke a little bit outward, but right with the field. Rosebud's Ridge flashing her normal speed. Whiny Taylor is fast down along the inside. Joni Catch now settles down into the third spot, and only about 3.5 lengths off the lead. Then Musical Romance from between runners. Carphonic is starting to advance, but checking just a bit. Carphonic with a little early traffic trouble running up the backstretch. Sweet Lullaby just ran right by her, and no speed from Miss Aristocrat. She is about 11 lengths the trailer of Rosebud's Ridge and jockey Manuel Cruz. Rosebud's Ridge, a clear leader to the half-mile pole. She's opened it up to about a 3.5 length lead. Whiny Taylor just off the rail in the second spot, and Musical Romance down along the inside is third. They're followed by Joni's Catch. Carphonic, after that early trouble, is fifth. She's now got about 7 or 8 to make up as she's shifting toward the outside going into the turn, and all the while Rosebud's Ridge is still a clear leader. Rosebud's Ridge, midpoint on the turn. Her lead is down to about 2. Whiny Taylor inching closer from the second spot. Joni's Catch close enough if good enough. Carphonic under a hard ride into the fourth spot. They're at the head of the stretch. Rosebud's Ridge a little erratic on the front end, but she's the clear leader. Rosebud's Ridge, now Carphonic is rolling home on the outside, and Joni's Catch is between those two. Carphonic, despite all that early trouble, has gotten to the lead. It's Carphonic and Luis Arango now on to the front. Joni's Catch second, then Sweet Lullaby, and Carphonic will win the Joe O'Farrell Juvenile Fillies. Joni's Catch second best, Sweet Lullaby, and Miss Aristocrat.
Carphonic makes it 2 for 2. She broke her maiden by 8 lengths in a very impressive career debut last time out in mid-October. She comes back about a month later and scores a very nice effort from off the pace, steadied at the start, but running very strongly early, crossing the line 3 in front of Joni's Catch with Sweet Lullaby back in the third spot. The winner, Carphonic, is a chestnut daughter of Lionheart from Carson Maddock by Carson City. Bred in Florida by Gem Racing and owned by the breeders, trained by William White and ridden to victory by Luis Arango, Carphonic covers the 7 and 126.57. We'll head back onto the grass course now. 2-year-olds in the Arthur Appleson Juvenile Turf.
They're all in line. And they're up. And Concord's Fury came out well toward the inside. Pistol Rules showing some speed. Show the Way Jay. Bim Bam is right up there with the leaders. Lucky Irish Jay just in behind them, fifth. Then it's Wave Me By. Thunder Brew down along the rail. Family Foundation in and amongst runners. Here comes Bernie the Maestro. Bernie the Maestro didn't break all that well, but he's making a big early move for the lead, and it looks like he'll get it as they go into the clubhouse turn. Back markers right now are Sir Bocce, Our Penn. Family Foundation is actually second last, and Three Deadly Sins is the trailer. They're fanned out about 6 wide going around the first turn, and the opening quarter moderate, 23-2, and a good battle ensues now. Pistol Rules, Bernie the Maestro. It's Pistol Rules back a neck in front. Bernie the Maestro prompting from the outside. These two have kicked about 5 lengths clear of Show the Way Jay, who runs third. Bim Bam is outside of him. They're followed by Concord's Fury. Then Thunder Brew, who's now 8 lengths from the lead. Lucky Irish Day in behind them. Then Our Repent. Family Foundation has made up a few spots, but he's still 10 lengths back after an opening half mile. mile that was 47-3. Pistol Rules now the clear leader once again. Pistol Rules and Wesley Henry into the far turn, 3/4 of a length. Still Bernie the Maestro. Now Show the Way Jay is on the move with Bim Bam, who's forced 4 wide. Bim Bam, though, is closing. Show the Way Jay, Bim Bam right up there and right by to get the lead. Show the Way Jay, Bim Bam right together as they make the swing for home. And Bim Bam now sticks his head out in front. It's Bim Bam in his turf debut, and he's loving it so far. Bim Bam from Show the Way Jay, Bernie the Maestro. Family Foundation is closing late on the grandstand side, but it's Bim Bam clear as they come down to the line, and Bim Bam wins the Arthur Appleton Juvenile Turf. Family Foundation second, Show the Way Jay was third.
Bim Bam gets the victory in his first try over the turf course. Obviously, a lot of people figured he'd had a little bit of a shot at it with a $13.40 mutual on top, just over 5-1. He scores over the odds-on choice Family Foundation, who was coming in out of a solid effort behind pretty nice horses like Interactive last time out at Keeneland. Also in from Keeneland was Show the Way, who rounds out the top 3. Bim Bam, who had most recently been third on the dirt and in reality to the very good Jackson Bend, scores the victory by a length. Bim Bam is a bay 2-year-old son of Deputy Wildcat from Laurel Light by Colony Light, bred in Florida by J.D. Farms and owned by the breeder, trained by David Brownlee and ridden to victory by Ivar Koa. Bim Bam covers the mile in a 16th to 141.73. Next up, sprinters in the Jack Dudley Sprint.
They're all in line. And they're off. And rate of exchange about right out to the lead. Pashito the Che is fast. Little Nick right up there on the lead as well. Prince Joshua showing speed. 4 of them right across the track. Green Vegas behind them. Honey, Honey, Honey now passes him from the inside. Trip Buster is about 6.5 lengths off the lead. And Hypocrite is last of the 8. He's got about 8.5 lengths to make up on Prince Joshua and Daniel Koa as they run past the half-mile pole. Prince Joshua 3/4 of a length from Little Nick. Honey, Honey, Honey there in third. Pashito the Che is in the clear on the outside, now a joint third, and only 2 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Rate of Exchange. Hypocrite has made some ground, but he's boxed in right now, may need racing room. He's got 5.5 lengths to make up. Green Vegas is outside of him as they chase Prince Joshua. Prince Joshua just in front. Little Nick there between runners. Pashito the Che is now getting closer, and here comes Pashito the Che, 3 wide off the turn, but he's up to engage Prince Joshua on the front end. Whip out on Prince Joshua. He's got to hold off the favorite Pashito the Che, and Pashito the Che has gone on to the lead. Pashito the Che just in front. Prince Joshua trying to fight back along the inside. Pashito the Che and Ivar Koa. Prince Joshua, Daniel Koa. Pashito the Che takes the Jack Dudley Sprint. Prince Joshua second best, a long way back to Little Nick third.
Pashito the Che getting the victory over a very game Prince Joshua. Top of the stretch, it figured, it looked like Pashito the Che was just going to run on by, but Prince Joshua down inside, hanging very game at 13-1 to finish second. It was 4.25 lengths back to Little Nick in the third spot. The winner, Pashito the Che, coming out of a win last time out in the Gallant Bob at Philadelphia, is a 3-year-old bay colt, a son of Flatter from Pashmina by Pentelicus. Bred in Florida by Mr. and Mrs. Leverett S. Miller and owned by the Tuna Stable Limited and Off the Hook Limited, trained by Scott Lake and ridden to victory by Ivar Koa. Pashito the Che covers the 6 in 111.44. Next up, fillies and mares in the Elmer Hubeck Distaff.
They're all in line. And they're up. And it was a good start for Jessica is back this afternoon, and she's right up and after that early lead. Sweet Repent came out well into the second spot. Sweet Southern Queen down to her inside. They're followed by Cat Can Do. Annabelle is between runners. One Proud Lady Fan 3 wide into the turn. Then we have Many Kisses who saves ground. She's about 5 lengths from the front. Bob's Jawbreaker is losing ground. She's up 3 wide and advancing, though, from the back of the pack. And Even Road will have to pass them all. She's got about 9 lengths to make up on the favorite Jessica is back. and Julian Leperoux. Jessica is back, a very comfortable opening quarter that was 24-2, yet she is uncontested onto the backstretch. So Jessica is back, has it the way she wants it, and she's not going all that fast. She's opened up about a 3-length lead. Sweet Repent a clear second at this point. One Proud Lady is up a joint third with Sweet Southern Queen down along her inside, and they're both starting to advance now to the outside of Sweet Repent after a half mile that went 49-2. Very modest fractions for these good fillies and mares. Jessica is back, still showing away. Jessica is back to the far turn. Her lead is down to just over a length. Sweet Repent getting closer from the second spot. Then Sweet Southern Queen. One Proud Lady is outside of her. Even Road has made a lot of ground. She is fifth right now and trying to gain on those leaders, but she's still 6 lengths back of Jessica is back as they round to the quarter pole. Jessica is back. Leperoux asking her for a little bit more. Whip is out on Sweet Repent as she draws up to even terms at the head of the stretch. Sweet Repent trying to go by Jessica is back, and she's done it. Sweet Repent now ahead in front. Jessica is back, is going to have to fight back from the inside. It's Sweet Repent going away from Jessica is back as they come to the final 16th. Sweet Repent and Manuel Cruz well on their way in the Elmer Hubeck Distaff. It's Sweet Repent. She beat Jessica is back, Even Road, and Sweet Southern Queen.
Three-year-old filly Sweet Repent stepping in with her Elders and Stakes company and scoring the victory over the favorite Jessica is back, with Even Road rounding out the top three. The winner, Sweet Repent, has won now 3 in a row, having won the Judy's Red Shoes against 3-year-olds last time out after having beaten older allowance fillies in her previous try. Sweet Repent is a 3-year-old daughter of Repent from Sweet Babe by Formal Dinner. Bred in Florida by Nikki and Roger Schick, owned by the Buongiorno e Tutti stable, trained by David Brady and ridden to victory by Manny Cruz. Sweet Repent covers the mile in the 16th in 146.74. Back to the turf now and the Bonnie Heath Turf Cup.
They're all in line. And they're off. And it was a good start for Pick a Pocket toward the inside. Livingston Street is there. Mean Sacks is moving up just outside of them as they make their way down the chute. They're followed right now by Black Scorpion, who's a little bit headstrong right now, ranking that third spot. He's dragging jockey Jose Rivera II all the way up to almost a joint second, as it doesn't look like there's any pace on in the early going. So it is Mean Sacks, a reluctant leader with 1 lap to go, and that opening quarter was slow, 25 seconds flat. Pick a Pocket, Black Scorpion outside of Mean Sacks. Now they're almost 3 right across the course as they fan into the clubhouse turn. They're followed right now by Livingston Street. He's just inside Fearless Eagle, and the favorite Soldier's Dancer is at the back of the pack early on. He's got about 6 lengths to make up as they wind toward that backstretch run. The leader right now is Mean Sacks. Mean Sacks and Luis Arango show the way. Just a neck right now. Pick a Pocket there from between runners. Black Scorpion in the clear third. Livingston Street is trapped down along the inside, but he's drafting in less than 3 lengths off the lead. May need racing room further on down the line. Fearless Eagle has about 4.5 to make up. And now Soldier's Dancer is advancing on the outside. There goes the favorite Soldier's Dancer after a half mile that was a very modest 50-1. And the big favorite Soldier's Dancer going to be caught a little wide into the turn, but really anyone's race. Very bunched as they chase around that far turn. It's Mean Sacks ahead in front. Mean Sacks, Pick a Pocket still getting closer from that second spot. Black Scorpion runs along in third. Livingston Street looks dangerous if he can find a way out. And now here's Soldier's Dancer. He's under the whip, but in the clear on the outside. 5 of them line up as they come down the lane, and here comes Soldier's Dancer. Pick a Pocket got first run, but Soldier's Dancer's got a lot of class, and Soldier's Dancer is coming to get the lead. Soldier's Dancer and Manuel Cruz, this year they take the Bonnie Heath Turf Cup. Pick a Pocket was second, tight for third.
Soldier's Dancer rallies from off the pace into a very slow pace to score by a half a length over Pick a Pocket, with Mean Sacks rounding out the top 3. Short field of only 6 facing the starter, and midway down the stretch it looked like it was pretty much anybody's game, but Soldier's Dancer, with that usual outside lunging running style, just gets there despite the pace. He's now 12 for 32 lifetime, a nice classy horse coming out of the win up in Philadelphia in the President's Cup. Soldier's Dancer is a Gray Roan gelded son of Lost Soldier from Heather's Dancer by Gate Dancer, bred in Florida by Frank's Farm and owned by Herman Heinlein, trained by David Vivian and ridden to victory by Manny Cruz. Soldier's Dancer covers the 9 furlongs in 148.91. We'll wrap up the Florida Millions card with the Carl G. Rose Classic.
And they're off in the Carl G. Rose Classic, and it was a perfect beginning. Dream Maestro, It's a Bird showing a little bit of speed. Looks like nobody really intent on the front. Too Many Toys is right there as well as they make their way past the stands. Here's Hal's My Hope coming through and opening at the inside. So it's Hal's My Hope and It's a Bird. These two are going to do battle as they make their way into the club turn. Too Many Toys just in behind them. Timo's Dream is 3 wide going into the turn. Dream Maestro saves ground. He's about 5 lengths off the pace. They're followed by Pound Foolish, and I'm a Wild and Crazy Guy takes a seat at the back of the pack. He must have 11 lengths to make up as they string out now behind a 24 flat opening quarter. It's a Bird now with his neck out in front as Hal's My Hope lets him get the lead. It's a Bird and Julian Leperoux now clear onto the backstretch. They've opened up over a length. Hal's My Hope still room down at the inside. Too Many Toys is taken off the rail and Timo's Dream is in the clear. He's a joint third and they're ganging up behind It's a Bird who's trying to slow him down that opening half mile. 48 and 4. It's a Bird, the leader, a half mile out. Too Many Toys now flanking him from the outside. Hal's My Hope has lost a little ground third. Timo's Dream coming under a ride. Here's Dream Maestro. Dream Maestro is splitting runners and now into third, and he's trying to close in on the top two. And all the while, Too Many Toys has gone up to the outside of It's a Bird. So it's a Bird, Too Many Toys. Now they're right together going around the far turn. Dream Maestro sitting the trip in third, and these three have separated from the rest, and they come toward the head of the stretch. Too Many Toys, It's a Bird. Too Many Toys now with a head in front. It's a Bird's in deep water. He's got to fight back along the inside, and Dream Maestro's got every chance on the grandstand side. It's Too Many Toys. It's a Bird is coming back. Too Many Toys. It's a Bird still almost right together. Dream Maestro trying to close from third. It's Too Many Toys and Carlos Olivero just in front. Too Many Toys scores the upset in the Carl G. Rose Classic. It's a Bird was second. Dream Maestro third.
Too Many Toys pulls off the upset over It's a Bird with Dream Maestro back in the third spot. It's a Bird, the heavy favorite, having run against some very good company this year, including the likes of Rachel Alexandra and others. His last couple performances a little bit less than what we might have expected, and here he's not quite able to hold off Too Many Toys, who scores by a length. It's a Bird back in the second spot. A little bit of a disappointing performance. Too Many Toys is a bay son of Northern Afleet from Katie's Kitten by Personal Hope, bred in Florida by Kieran Dunn and Amy Dunn, owned by OSED Limited and trained by Luis Olivares. He's now won 4 in a row, most of them coming and claiming an optional claiming company. Too Many Toys and Carlos Olivero scored the 9 furlongs in 154.88. We'll pause for a brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to Churchill Downs for great turf stakes racing action. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now in Kentucky with a pair of 3-year-old turf stakes beginning on Saturday with the Mrs. Revere, a Grade 2, but an extremely tough and deep renewal of this Grade 2. Let's head down to Churchill and Saturday's Mrs. Revere.
Solution moves in, they're in the gate. In the Mrs. And they're off. In the Mrs. Revere Grade 2 on the inside. Miss World got a very good beginning, and towards the centre of the course, that is Warkill. Warkill has now taken the early lead. Roma Kaka on that one's outside, racing in second. Miss Keller is just in third. Mary's Follies to the inside hedge is in fourth, followed then by Bluegrass Princess as they go into the clubhouse turn. Kirtana next in the field. Redream It is 5 wide as they go into the turn. Racing in midfield now, Miss World with Hot Cha-Cha, followed then by Kiowa Cat, obsequious on the outside. CS Silk is behind that one, striking Dancer, and the back marker is Single Solution. The quarter was 24 and 1. Midway down the back stretch they go, and the leader here is Warkill by a length to Roma Kaka, racing in second. Kirtana towards the outside of Miss Keller, and then Mary's Follies, followed by Redream It, and then after these is Bluegrass Princess. 48 and 2 was the half mile. Single Solution is still detached at the back of the field. Hot Cha-Cha has got a wall of horses in front of her, but they're very tightly grouped as they go into that far turn, and it is Warkill who's got a slender lead to Roma Kaka in second. Miss Keller under a ride in third. Kirtana out very wide on the track is now in fourth. Mary's Follies is in fifth. Redream It, another one who's brutally wide, followed by Kiowa Cat as they make the turn back towards home. Roma Kaka towards the outside of Warkill, the first two, followed now by Mary's Follies who's coming through, and Mary's Follies has now put her head in front to Roma Kaka to the inside towards the outside. Kirtana is coming on. Hot Chatter is only fourth, and she's running out of time inside the final half furlong. Mary's Follies is out in front for Kent de Sormo, and Mary's Follies takes the Mrs. Revere. Kirtana was second, tight third. Roma Kaka on the inside of Hot Chatter, and they pull clear of the rest.
Mary's Follies, a very nice effort by this filly, was allowed to go off at over 9-1 as she scores by a length and a half over a game Kirtana, with Roma Kaka back in the third spot after being involved in the pace right from the start. The winner, Mary's Follies, a very nice effort as she scores over what I think is probably the deepest and most competitive 3-year-old filly turf race. If there was a Breeders' Cup race for 3-year-old fillies on the grass, this would be it. And she scored very impressively in her return to grass. She had run some nice races on the dirt. They put her in the Boiling Springs on the grass in June. She scored there, came back and ran well in an off-the-turf race. So they went back to dirt with her. Last out, she was 6th in the cotillion behind Careless Jewel. Now returns to grass and once again to the winner's circle. Mary's Follies is a 3-year-old daughter of More Than Ready from Catch the Queen by Miss Waukee, bred in Kentucky by Mr. and Mrs. David Randall, owned by Paul Pompa Jr. and trained by Rick Dutrow. Ridden to victory by Kent de Sormo, Mary's Follies covers the mile in a 16th in 141.73. Next up, it's Sunday's stakes feature at Churchill Downs, the Commonwealth Turf for 3-year-olds on grass.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Commonwealth Turf. It was a slow beginning for Spectacular Kid to the outside. In the centre, Major Marvel is up there against the hedge. Get Stormy, these the first two, Major Marvel and Get Stormy, followed then by Proceed B to the outside of quite a handful. Those the first four. Florentino is racing very freely, so too is Grizzled Robert as they go into the clubhouse turn. Spectacular Kid has worked to the inside hedge as they make the turn. Perfect Bull is next in the field. Street Move has got one behind in the early going, and that is Pop Tart, and they've got 5.5 furlongs to go. The first quarter 23 and 2, and Get Stormy and Javier Castellano are out in front as they go to halfway in the 6th running of the Commonwealth Turf. It's Get Stormy towards the outside. Major Marvel now in a close second. Proceed B on the outside in third. Florentino's racing in fourth. Grizzled Robert is in 5th position. On the inside, Spectacular Kid is in 6th. Quite a handful is in 7th as they go towards the far turn. Street Move is now racing in 8th. Perfect Bull is in 9th, and the back mark Walker is Pop-Tart. They make the far turn, 47 seconds flat for the half mile, and Get Stormy still has the lead. Get Stormy to Major Marvel racing in second. An all-out drive now for Proceed B towards the wide outside. Florentino sticks to the inside hedge, followed through by Street Move, who now begins to close, but he bumped Grizzled Robert in the lane down towards the final furlong. Get Stormy is finding more, and he's kicked clear. Staying on, Street Move is grinding it out in second. Down the outside, Pop-Tart is closing deep. Inside the final 100 yards, Get Stormy, Street Move. Here's the line, Get Stormy, gamely to Street Move on the outside. Grizzled Robert and then Pop-Tart in the Commonwealth turf.
Get Stormy makes it 4 in a row with a very nice effort. He won the Bryan Station unyielding turf at Keeneland. Prior to that, had won the Lure up here at Saratoga on a soft turf course. Now gets back on firm going and scores by a game nose on the front end over Street Move, who was in from the Meadowlands, and Grizzled Robert, who had most recently run up the track at Keeneland. The winner, Get Stormy, was a bay son of Stormy Atlantic from Foolish Gal by Curious Clown, was bred in Kentucky by Mary A. Sullivan and is owned by the Sulamar Stable, trained by Tom Bush and ridden to victory by Javier Castellano. Get Stormy covers the mile and a 16th on the Churchill turf in 141.67. We'll head north of the border now for a pair of stakes over the weekend at Woodbine, beginning with Saturday afternoon's running of the Grade 2 Autumn Stakes.
They're off in the Autumn Stakes. Awesome Rhythm. Senior Henry's just to the inside, along with Crown Isle, and from the outside, Tatey as they run to the clubhouse turn. And down on the inside, it's Crown Isle. Awesome Rhythm comes on for a narrow lead at the 7/8 pole. Tutte Buona Gente drafts in behind horses. Tatey is on the outside, third, and Tutte Buona Gente's back in the fourth. Senior Henry is in the 5th position, and Stormcaller is 6th and just 3 lengths off the lead. Dennis Ligovitz 3 wide, 7th Palladio, 2nd to last, and Pool plays just to the outside of Palladio. And they enter the backstretch, and it's Emil Ramsamy and Crown Isle with 5 furlongs to go. On the outside, Awesome Rhythm joins them now for the run up the backstretch. Tucked in nicely in behind them is Tutte Buona Gente. Then Senior Henry. Tatey's in amongst horses, just a length and 3/4 off the lead. Sligovitz is out there 4 wide and has just 2 lengths to make up. A wall of horses in front of Stormcaller. Then Palladio has that great turn speed. It's just 3.5 lengths off the lead. Pool Play trails, but it's a tight group with just under 3 furlongs to go. On the outside, Awesome Rhythm. On the inside, Crown Isle. Tutte Buona Gente gets a little niggle to run on. Sligovitz is being asked for more run. In behind horses is Tatey. Pool Play begins to loop runners, and here comes Sligovitz as well, and it's up for grabs in the Autumn Stakes. Awesome Rhythm and narrow lead. Here comes Palladio, and Palladio has caught Awesome Rhythm as they come to the last 16th of a mile and is pulling away to a decisive win in the Autumn Stakes. It's Palladio to win it. Finishing second, Awesome Rhythm, then Pool Play and Sligovitz.
Palladio getting the victory. An exciting race, actually. Midway down the stretch, it looked like it was just about anybody's game, but he ends up scoring on the outside with a game run by 2 over Awesome Rhythm, with Pool Play back in the 3rd spot. The group of older horses that tend to compete against one another in a series of stakes and even money allowance races, and most of these guys are pretty familiar with one another. Palladio earlier in the year had won the Seagram Cup and most recently was 3rd to a couple of these in money allowance company. Palladio is a bay son of Lycius from Joya by Mary's Book, bred in Florida by Aras Santa Maria de Aradas and owned by the breeder, trained by Roger Atfield and ridden to victory by Richard Dos Ramos. Palladio covers the mile and a 16th in 143.74. We'll head right back to Woodbine and Sunday Stakes feature the Glorious Song for 2-year-old fillies.
They're at the post. They're off in the Glorious Song Stakes. Bet on the blue, and now coming on is Aurora Prospect in the center. Aurora Prospect joined to the outside by Cascading. Then Officer's Dream, Badua, Honeymoon Girls in those blue sleeves down toward the rail. Just in behind that phalanx of runners is Jenny So Great, then Bet on the Blue, and Rowan-Inish. At the rail is Wildcat Alley. Last of them all is Witch's Coven, although Witch's Coven's just 3.5 lengths off the lead. What a tight group of fillies along the backstretch. And it's Aurora Prospect by a neck. Badua is in between horses. Riding the rails is Longshot Wildcat Alley. And behind that trio is Witch's Coven and the green sleeves. Witch's Coven steadied as they head to the 3/8 pole and overtaken by Cascading. Bet on the Blue starts to gain ground, has some momentum. Then we have Officer's Dream, the Princess Elizabeth winner. Rowan-Inish is back about 3.5 lengths off the lead. Then Jenny So Great and Honeymoon Girl. It's up for grabs in the Glorious Song as they come to the top of the stretch. Cascading has taken the lead. Rowan-Inish gets a reminder to run on now and starts to gain ground on the far outside. It's Cascading, Bet on the Blue. Rowan-Inish is closing resolutely at Cascading in the final 1/8 of a mile, but Cascading's up to the task. Cascading storms home to win the Glorious Song. Rowan-Inish was second, Jenny So Great third, and Bet on the Blue was fourth.
Cascading gets the victory, the second victory of her career. She broke her maiden and then ran well to finish 5th behind Biofuel in the Mazarine. Now, she ended up going off as the 2-to-1 favorite here. And I have to guess that that was because of the success of Biofuel, who ran a very big off-the-pace effort last week to just miss the board in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Cascading scores by 1.25 over Rowan-Inish, with Jenny So Great back in the 3rd spot. The winner, Cascading, is a dark bay or brown 2-year-old daughter of AP Indy from Teaming by Stormcat, bred in Kentucky by Hillendale Equine Holdings and Edward McGee, owned by the breeders and trained by Josie Carroll. Ridden to victory by Pat Husbands, Cascading covers the 7 in 123.05. We'll pause now for one more brief message, and when we return, we'll round things out with the New York Stallion Series from Sunday at the Big A. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now with Sunday's New York Stallion Series races from Aqueduct. These are races that are restricted to horses sired by New York Stallions. They do not necessarily have to be New York breds. We'll kick things off with the Great White Way, $100,000 for 2-year-old colts and geldings.
In the gate. And the rough. Cat's Kitty, Out of Respect, and Belfast Lad. Then Lord Jet, Make Note, was away 5th as the field moves up the backstretch. Out of Respect, pressed by Belfast Lad. Cat's Kitty in the clear on the outside. Make Note now moves up a spot into 4th and over to the inside. The trailer is Lord Jet, as Out of Respect gets the opening quarter here in 22 4, hounded all the way by Belfast Lad. Out of Respect, the neck. Belfast Lad still pressing. Make Note will try to come through an opening on the inside if the opening's there. On the far outside, it's Cat's Kitty. They're coming to the top of the stretch. Out of Respect is the leader. There is room for Make Note. Make Note does come on through. Out of Respect on the outside, and these two are going to slug it out in the slop. It's Make Note on the inside, Out of Respect on the outside, nothing between them. Make Note, Out of Respect, still nothing between them. Make Note narrowly coming down to the line, and Make Note did it. Edgar Prado rode the rails to victory and won it by a length and a half over Out of Respect. Farther back, Belfast Lad with Lord Jet.
Make Note scoring the victory. A nice effort by this guy who showed a little bit of tactical speed, got to the lead top of the stretch and was still clear by a length and a half as they crossed the line. He scores over Out of Respect, who was up from Calder, and we have seen so many of those Calder 2-year-olds this year do very, very well, including to Funny Bone and Homeboy Chris. This one comes up to the Bruce Levine barn on the private purchase and ends up settling for a second spot in his New York debut. Belfast Lad completes the top 3. The winner, Make Note, won the Bertram Bond Garden, was third in the Sleepy Hollow in his 2 most recent starts. He is a 2-year-old colt, a son of Read the Footnotes from Delta Daylight by Sovereign Dancer, bred in New York by Thomas Narlinger Limited and Dennis Rep, owned by the Richland Farm and trained by George Weaver, ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Make Note covers the 6 in 111.39. Next up, the Staten Island division, $75,000, 3 and up, fillies and mares going 7 furlongs.
And they're off. City Spirit breaks on top. Angery is there. So too Mother Russia. And Christina's Gold has come out fourth over toward the inside. Raffy's Treasure and Beam of Love. Up the backstretch, Mother Russia out for the lead. City Spirit and Angery second and third. Just in behind Mother Russia, Christina's Gold is fourth. 2 lengths back, and Raffy's Treasure trying to take hold of this off track. In fifth position, Beam of Love alongside her. Up front, Ramon Dominguez trying to ration out the speed of Mother Russia through an opening quarter of 23 seconds flat. Angery now edges past City Spirit to get up in the second position. City Spirit third down on the inside. Christina's Gold has come off the rail for clear running. It's another 3 to Raffy's Treasure and Beam of Love. But it's still Mother Russia in control as they move toward the top of the stretch. Her half mile was 46 and 1. Here comes Christina's Gold with a bid for the lead as the field turns for home. Mother Russia trying to take them all the way on the lead. And just a little cue from Ramon Dominguez. And Mother Russia is responding to lead now by 2.5 lengths. Christina's Gold full out second. A break of 5 back to Raffy's Treasure and Beam of Love. And they're coming down to the finish. And it will be from gate to finish for Mother Russia. Christina's Gold clearly second best here. Raffy's Treasure third.
Mother Russia, once again, congratulations to Local Connections, who have just had a terrific run with this filly, who is now 7 for 11 lifetime. She moves back to the dirt. Her most recent dirt performance was last spring in New York, where she scored a victory in Stallion Series competition. Here she comes right back onto the dirt, shows her usual alert early speed, and scores going away by 3 1/4 lengths over Christina's Gold with Raffy's Treasure back in third. Mother Russia is a dark bay brown daughter of Mayakovsky from Still Secret by Hennessy. Bred right here in New York by Philip Birch and owned by Local Partnership, the Obviously New York stable, trained by Linda Rice and ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. Mother Russia covers the 7 in 124.34. Next up, 3-year-olds and up, sired by New York Stallions in the Cormorant, which was taken off the turf at a mile in the 16th and run at a mile on the main track.
And they're off. Good Prospect in Pennington. Pretty Boy Freud down toward the inside. Rufino's on the far outside, up and in the early mix, along with Hammock. So it's Rufino and Pennington. They're head-to-head for the lead. On the inside, Pretty Boy Freud comes up to join the leaders. Now, right there running third. Hammock the Gray's in behind them. Now held back in fourth position. And it's 2 lengths back, and Mini Punts now fifth on the inside of Good Prospect. 3 lengths back to Gargantua with the trailer. A contested opening quarter there of 23 seconds flat. Pretty Boy Freud, the leader. The leader by a neck. Pennington runs along in second. Ruffino's on the outside. Now has dropped the length off the lead. Down toward the rail, it's Hammock. A break of 5 back to the trailing trio of Gargantua, Good Prospect, and Mini Punt. Into the far turn, Pretty Boy Freud. Pennington. Ruffino's working hard to stay with them. Ruffino's under a ride, has now dropped 2 lengths from the lead. Then Hammock down toward the inside. The half was 46 and 2/5 seconds. And they're coming to the top of the stretch. Pretty Boy Freud, the leader. Pennington second. Ruffino's been in a drive. Now third on the outside. Hammock down toward the rail. 3/16 from the wire. Pretty Boy Freud there by 2. Hammock trying to get to him. With inside the final furlong, it is Pretty Boy Freud. David Cohen working on him. The lead's a length. Here comes Ruffino with a final try here at odds of 1-4. It's going to be close, and it's going to be the favorite to get it done. Ruffino won it by a long neck from Pretty Boy Freud. Hammock was third. Good Prospect was fourth.
Ruffino scoring the victory, and congratulations to the connections of this horse who have persevered despite a number of setbacks. He is now 8 for 13 lifetime. After a close second last time out in the Empire Classic, he returns to score by 3/4 of a length over Pretty Boy with 21-1 shot. Hammock rounding out the top 3. Ruffino is a bay gelding, a son of Raffy's Majesty from Joanne W. by Well Decorated. 6-year-old horse was bred in New York by Tina Marie Bond and is owned by the breeder, trained by her husband, H. James, Jim Bond, and ridden to victory by Rajiv Marat. A very nice performance by Ruffino, who continues to surprise people with his consistency, despite having had a number of setbacks over the course of his career. Ruffino covers the mile in 137.42. We'll continue now New York Stallion Series action with fillies in the Fifth Avenue division.
And they're off. Stumbling start for Embrace Change. Hook Me Up comes out on top, and so away in good order just to the inside of Hook Me Up. And then it's Lindsay's Point now, who moves up to be third. Raffy's Rose is fourth, followed by Franny Freud up in the fifth now. Then Sugar Trade a long way back to Embrace Change. Embrace Change just detached from the field as they move for the far turn, and Hook Me Up, the leader, drilled a 22-1 opening quarter mile. Lindsay's Point there. Lindsay's Point on the outside. And then Franny Freud, so back fourth toward the rail. They're followed by Raffy's Rose, and Sugar Trade still a long way back to Embrace Change. Hook Me Up is confronted here by Lindsay's Point. And on the far outside, Franny Freud, the 3 of them across the track now. So in behind the lead is now fourth. And on the far outside, Raffy's Rose. And it is Franny Freud who emerges with the lead. Franny Freud on top, followed by Hook Me Up and Raffy's Rose. So trying to hold on for fourth. Embrace Change comes from so far out of it. Not going to get to the winner, Franny Freud, who won clearly almost 5 lengths. Raffy's Rose was second. Embrace Change came from out of the clouds to get third money there. So managed fourth.
Franny Freud, a very nice 2-year-old filly, was beaten fairly badly in the Frisette when asked to stretch out after having run some pretty nice stakes company in Canada. Comes back here and picks up the victory when she was dropped back to a sprint and perhaps a little bit of class relief as well. She wins off by 5 over Raffy's Rose with Embrace Change back in third. Franny Freud is a bay 2-year-old filly, a daughter of Freud from Frankly Fran by Dacourt, bred in New York by Anthony Gray. Owned by Paul Pompa Jr., Stephen Yarborough, and Winter Park Partners, trained by John Terranova, and ridden to victory by Rashif Marat. Franny Freud covers the 6 in 111.15. Next up, we will head back into Stallion Series competition and the Thunder Rumble for older horses.
They're in the gate. And they're off. looking at her, springs to the lead. Tall Puppy is hustled out of there. Looking at her, though, clears the field in the first 100 yards. Over to the rail, and on top now by 2. Tall Poppy second on the outside. Vinny Van Gogh comes on through to be third. Uncle T. Stephen is now fourth toward the rail. And then it's Mr. Windjammer running in fifth to Maury and Dr. DFC. Chasing, looking at her through the opening quarter mile of 23 and 2/5 seconds. Vinny Van Gogh has come through to be second now in between horses. Uncle T7 on the inside. On the outside is Tall Poppy. They move into the far turn. Still chasing, looking at her, trying to shake loose for them. It leads only a length. Here's Uncle T7 mounting a bit now. Second with 3 furlongs to go. The half was 47 seconds flat. Tall Poppy out there running in third. And then it's Mr. Windjammer who's rallying as they come to the quarter pole. Vinny Van Gogh back to fifth. Then Dr. DFC as they turn for home. Uncle T7 overtakes, looking at her. Down to the final furlong here, and it is Uncle T7 pulling away to lead by 4. Mr. Windjammer is rallied to be second at the 16th pole. Looking at her, has faded to third, Dr. DFC, but it is Uncle T7 and Ramon Dominguez, a big day, cruising home. Mr. Windjammer finishing second, Dr. DFC was third.
Uncle T7 scores the victory. He's a pretty nice and consistent horse. He has run some pretty good ones in his career, including winning on the turf up here at Saratoga in Stallion Series competition. Runs away and hides 4 3/4 lengths the better of Mr. Windjammer. Dr. DFC another 3 lengths back in third. The winner, Uncle T7, is a 3-year-old colt, a son of Freud from Holy Wish by Lord at War, bred in New York by Anthony Gray, owned by Thomas Mina, Suzanne Bobley, MFRG Racing Stable and Dennis Bryda, trained by John Kimmel and ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. After finishing up the track in the Mohawk behind the extremely good Banrock, they dropped him back in class, moved back onto the main track, and scored the victory in the New York Stallion Series Thunder Rumble division at 123.28. That'll wrap up this edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the program and will be able to join us once again next week as we take a look at stakes racing action from around the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.